The early settlers of New Zealand introduced 20 different species of game bird. Some of these birds got well established, and some of these birds got heavily hunted. In the 1950s, the Wildlife Act was passed, putting restrictions on hunting and also defining 13 of these bird species as game. Now, hunters need a license and can only hunt these birds at certain times of the year, e.g. autumn, e.g. the first Saturday of May, which was actually last weekend, so the duck hunting season has already begun. We're up at the crack of dawn. We've gone the opposite way from the traffic, where we're about to catch up with Laura Douglas, who does real country tours, and part of her tour is taking people through this pimped out MaiMai that we're about to visit. Now, this MaiMai is completely man-made, so should be pretty exciting stuff. Now we wait.
How you doing?
Amazing. Any good MaiMai mansion does need a good view. So Lauren, what we're looking at out here is the lovely little quiet town of Kingston. So growing up with their farm down in Mossburn, our MaiMai was a couple of old car seats with corrugated iron over the top. And when I first saw this, I mean, I've been to a lot of MaiMais, but this is pretty impressive. Let's have a look. It's normal MaiMais, it's a bit of shelter and a bit of camouflage, and that's about it. Whereas here we have all the creature comforts that any keen duck shooter would need. We have a full working bar, plenty of room to keep all the beers nice and cold. Up here we have Sky televisions. We have a barbecue over here, watch a spot of rugby. Gas heater in case it gets a little bit nippy first thing in the morning. Have a dartboard over here just to keep you entertained. So all of this shrub here that you see, all ripped off manuka bush, it's to conceal the hunters so the ducks can't see them when they're flying in. So right now is perfect duck shooting. So you can see the clouds really nice and low, and what that does is it forces the ducks to stay nice and low when they've got their flight path coming over the ponds. So they will come down and they'll see these decoys or the fake ducks in the middle of the pond there, and they'll go, that looks like a nice place to land. We'll come in nice and low. Hopefully if the shooters are any good, there'll be no more ducks. Poor old Ethel here, 0, 0 and 0. This is all man-made as well. Yeah, this is really extensive. This pond, you know, wasn't here. This was all dug out. And you'll notice that it has been positioned strategically here because you've got the rolling hill surrounding it all the way around. What's the reason with this shootout every first Saturday of May? So the reason for the shootout is to keep the numbers under control. Ducks are actually quite harmless. They tend to just live on the ponds and they don't, you know, affect the grazing too much. But if there wasn't a duck shooting season every year, the numbers would get out of control and then they definitely would be a pest. Well, that was LWBTV's MaiMai experience. Ka kite popo guys, this is Lauren Preble out in her hunting uniform. Now the quicker you do it, it's the speed, not the force of it, that makes it crap. If you do it too slowly, the whip catches up with itself and it wraps around you. Ouch. So it's just, it's about as slow as you can do it. You let it catch up with yourself. Alright, we'll cut that. I can't country.